Where's it gone? Have you deleted the old one?
Yeah, I got a screenshot of the old one. We're on live. We're live now. So I got a screenshot of the old one if you want me to show you exactly what happened here.
No, you need to put it on your channel. This Hangout is not on your channel yet.
This Hangout, this is
Oh,
still
it
the
is
old.
now. It
It
is
is
now.
now? Okay,
Yeah,
are
let me
we?
share it.
Oh, we got a little feedback here. Okay, that's me. I'm having all kinds of problems with YouTube this morning, and I couldn't get this thing to start. And I don't know why. It's just weird. And do you guys want to see what happened? I could screenshot it for you.
Yeah, let's
I
have a look.
I took a yeah.
Share the wisdom.
Let me do infinity screen here for a minute. Sorry about infinity screen. Ah, but let me show you what happened here. Oh shit! That's clicked the wrong button. Okay, can you let me bring this down, and then I screenshotted the. You still got an infinity screen there?
No, we're seeing a different screen now. We're seeing the
Okay,
Hangout screen.
we're seeing the Hangout screen. Now you see it's off air. Now if I go down, see that 99%? I was stuck at 99%, and it
All right,
wouldn't.
you listen. You need to highlight your icon so it stops switching to my.
Okay, let me go down here and go back to infinity screen for a second, and then highlight my icon. There we go. And then I can drop down out of this. There we go. Okay, see, we were off air, and I got 99%. I did it 3 times, and I couldn't get. And then it gave me back to the same Hangout. And it gave me the same Hangout, and there it is, 99%. It wouldn't let me on air.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea it wouldn't let me on air.
I know. I
I
know that
think,
I know that used to happen to me when the 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 guests would arrive before I got into the Hangout. So I'd share the link, and then people would jump in, and I wasn't able to go live. I know that's happened.
oh yeah, I opened it up and stayed in the Hangout. So that was just weird. It's just one of those things that happened. Now let me see what if they gave me the same board. No, they didn't give me the same board. So they probably wanted me to take that one off because I was being sarcastic and I don't know why they just didn't want me to put that one up. Hello, man. Hello, Mgtows. Hello, Luis. Hello, John. Hello, all the hello, controversial truth. Boy, it was quite a difficult project getting on here this morning, and it kind of rattled my brain a little bit. I had some openings going. I was set. I was prepared, and wow, wow.
Well,
Okay.
it's been a busy week for the manosphere, hasn't it?
Yeah, the manosphere has been up in the air this week. Seems like one of those nasty old bears to come in and trying to start trouble all around the manosphere. And there's been some edginess, and there's been some I don't know if it's name calling or poking at each other, but that's kind of normal for around here, isn't it?
It is, but we don't delve into that. We're above such things.
Yes, yes, we are.
On the positive though, Teacher did a good podcast. I jumped onto his podcast on I believe was it the Thursday or was it the Friday? It was a Thursday. Sorry, guys.
Okay, yeah, that went good. I still haven't watched that, and I'm sorry because I watch every one of Mgtow MT3's podcast, and I really like the guy. I think he's got some great things to say, and I just was having a day that day too.
Yeah, well, you've been under some stress lately. I detect, and you've been working overtime. You've been trying to address some of the issues that have been popping up, and well, we were talking earlier this week about possibly you having a little break, but you've had like a day or two off, but you just couldn't stay away.
I couldn't stay away. Yeah, I'd like to take a break, but boy, there's so much shenanigans that go on around here.
Oh, I tell you what, staying free, Mgtow. How about him? Last night he did an 11-hour podcast, guys.
11-hour podcast. Is he a trooper or what? Staying free. Is he still sleeping now? Because usually he's on by now.
And then, controversial truth. I was just listening to his podcast. He did about 12 hours ago, I think.
Yeah, I helped.
Interesting stuff there.
Yeah, he had some trouble going on yesterday too, and I don't know if they're going to use that as a way to further censor us or not, or we'll see how it goes. And there's Staying Free, Mgtow.
Oh, surprise, surprise! Markov O'Connor's shut his channel down.
Markov shut his channel down.
He lasted an unbelievable, or was it 3 months this time?
For you guys that don't know, Markov is MJ.
He's good old MJ, old friends of ours.
MJ.
He does this all the time. He opens up some channels. He manages to get a bit of interest, and then he shuts it right down.
He shuts it right down. Yeah,
MJ, as from one bro to another, you need to put on some of the armor. It gets like this.
Yeah, it does. He gets attacked every time he comes on, but he always gets attacked by a new and unusual group, doesn't he? Last time it was them skeptic guys from Florida, and they were like doing things like sending him pizzas to his house and stuff.
He got attacked by the what is it? The bronies.
The bronies, yeah, the bronies attacked him last time, and this time it was the skeptic pedo bear guys. I think
it was that wolf child girl, and
I think child girl.
Now it was like linked to Yobi Axis as well, and on some other.
Yeah, Yobi Axis, but that is that skeptic community too, isn't it?
I mean, anybody out there, guys, that if you're setting up a channel, you've got to face the heat, and at the end of the day, it's only your channel getting attacked.
Yeah, it's only your channel. It's not. It has nothing to do with you or your personal feelings. It's just that these guys are so easily triggered, and they're telling on themselves. Most of them are just children, or they're autistic, and they just this is what they do. They don't take it seriously. They have no serious intents for Mgtow, so they come around, and their lack of enthusiasm, would I say, shows in their comments.
I mean, good old MJ. God bless MJ. I think he's got such a big heart, and quite often, guys that have got big hearts, they can find it difficult to separate themselves from their subscribers and from their critics. Quite often, that's what you need to do. You need to care, yeah. You need to care, but you've got to distance to the point where you don't go crazy, or you don't take it too personal.
Yeah, that's why I always say hand out pudding when those things happen. Just say the nicest thing you can possibly say to somebody when they start.
Sometimes passive aggressive is an excellent tool to use.
Yes, just be so passive aggressive. Today Pedo Bear called me the C word. He says, "You want to see it?"
Yeah, let's share.
Let's share what Pedo Bear said.
His sacred comment from Berrien's, I presume it's Berrien's, the idol of the skeptic community, the untouchable of the atheist powerhouse over there. The
powerhouse,
the new Thunderfoot.
325 fake subscribers.
325. Is that what he's on?
Yeah, he's 326,000 fake subscribers. So that's Infinity Page. I'll lower this down. And
so he's managed to buy 326,000.
Yeah, can you see that? See that right in the corner there? He says, "I'm coming for you, cunt."
Shivers went down my spine.
What shall we do? Yeah, let me put that. Can you? Oops, let me see. You can see my page now, can't you? Yeah, there it is, right there in the corner. "I'm coming for you, cunt." He used the C word and called me, and he uses the C word every 6 words.
Berrien, if you're listening, you fat bastard, you are giving Australians a really bad name. We had respect for Australians because we've got Uni 13, Universal Studios 13.
Yeah, I love Universal 13. He should
But
be like, he
then
should have 326,000 subscribers.
he should have that. I mean, it's just it's an upside down world. I mean, there's something we say, the Matrix. It's like a mirror of what life really should be like, or how the universe should be. And real life, the Matrix, it's like everything's the opposite. It's like good is bad, bad is
Bad
good.
is good.
And the guys that should have 1 million subscribers, they've got a couple of hundred. And the guys that everything's upside down, isn't it?
Yeah, is it the truth? The truth bothers people, doesn't it? When you start like saying the truth, and
we're at that stage now that people they just they want to eat their burgers, drink their Coca-Cola, and just watch TV. They so long as they've got that, they don't want to know what's going on over there. They just want that that mollycoddling. They want to be surrounded in their own little bubble. That everything's fine. You're a great person. Everything's fantastic. You just
pure love, just oozing all over everything. Ooh.
Oh, I tell you what, I did enjoy Timothy Blades talking to Staying Free Mgtow yesterday, and
did you?
Yeah, it's always good dynamic. Them guys make a good team. Pivik Victor, Mgtow.
Mgtow?
Mgtow. I call him Galwan for some reason.
Galran.
I think his avatar reminds me of Galwan, the Klingon. And,
remember the Klingon avatar that used to come up? What did he? I don't know if he went on.
There was a Vulcan.
Vulcan, yeah. What was his name?
Oh, there were a few Vulcan.
Yeah, we used to have the Vulcan guy. Yeah, we used to have the Vulcan guy that comes around. I think he went by Galran or something like that, but it was just.
Yeah, Timothy Blades and his spaceship avatar.
His spaceship? Does he got a new spaceship avatar?
No, he's got that special needs guy. Forgive me, guys, if he's not special needs. He's got the special needs guy getting into the spaceship.
Oh, wow. I'd like to see that. I didn't notice that. You got a special needs guy getting into a spaceship?
It's either a spaceship or a giant washing machine. So it's a spaceship or a giant washing machine, Timothy Blades.
Well, that's it. He always wears the greatest shirts when he does his podcast. You ever notice that? The t-shirts
he wears those millennial shirts, and
I always love it. I was like, I want that shirt. And I go look at it to see if I can actually buy it because he's got great t-shirts.
Yeah, you like his fashion sense?
I like his fashion sense. He's got a real Mgtow fashion sense.
Now we're talking. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, we just said that. Yeah, Thou Mgtow is saying there's a new series on Netflix. I think we mentioned this series of unfortunate events by Lemony and Snicket. It's quite old, that story.
Yeah, I just seen that new the new series came up for me to actually steal this week. It was a series of unfortunate events. The series I was going to try to watch it, but I don't know. We'll see about it.
I'll tell you what's good. I'll tell you what I'm watching at the moment. A new series. It's produced by Ridley Scott, and it stars Tom Hardy. If you guys don't know Tom Hardy, he played Mad Max in the last feminist version of Mad Max, and it's really good. It's called Taboo, which is a silly name for the series. It's set in Victorian Britain, or I should say 18th century London.
18th century London.
And it's about a man whose father has died. He's come back to London to claim his inheritance, and the big corporations are set against him. It looks like the government's going to be set against him, but it's pretty good. It's well written. I think Veritech Ace, you'll like it.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of great. There's going to be a lot of great movies starting up. I've been waiting for the new season of movies to come on. Did I send you that video? It was like 33 movies that are coming out this year. So almost every week we'll be getting a new great classic or a new movie. But the series I'm getting I'm getting flooded with series that I could watch, and I've been trying to watch whole season. I just watched some of the Netflix ones and the Hulu ones. I like the Hulu one called Chase. It's about Dr. It's got the same guy as House. He plays he plays Dr. Chase in this one, and he's a real simp, and he causes all kinds of trouble. And
Anybody seen the movie that is it called Red Pill? The one that all the MRA are promoting, Red Pill.
no, it is actually, I seen it was doing really horrible. I pulled it up on the movie list, and it wasn't getting like no hits at all comparatively to movies, and they were just running it through these little what do they call it, film festival things.
I see. So it's not hit any big screens. But guys, it is available to download. If you guys want to know some of the background or some of the underground of British politics, check out the film, the Killing of Tony Blair. Check that out.
The Killing of Tony Blair. He lives in Virginia now, doesn't he?
He's got a house all over the place. He's managed to make a big. The killing doesn't stand for murder killing. It stands for a monetary killing. He's made a lot of money out of the British the country, or the United Kingdom. He's made a lot of money from the country, and he's just left.
Okay, I lowered the bandwidth. They said it was kept buffering, so I may have had the bandwidth too high on it. Let me know if that helps out. I think we're just under an attack from YouTube. They don't like us, and they're going to do everything they can to make it difficult on me today.
I've got a feeling YouTube are updating their code again. You know, they're constantly reprogramming it, thinking, well, we need to keep improving, and then normally it causes these types of problems when they're like updating YouTube and Google.
Yeah. Buffering seems to be a new thing, because buffering would be just your bandwidth isn't keeping up with the packets.
Well, I know my phone is no longer fully compatible with YouTube anymore.
Is it? Oh,
it's no longer fully compatible. So I know they've changed something on YouTube.
Yeah, they're going to force us to buy new phones and computers.
You know, the scumbags, aren't they? All these corporations. It's all about business. We talked about this earlier today. What I called it ultra capitalism, and people think that the problem. What I think the problem with the West, or the Western government, is it's all profit orientated. If they don't make profit, then they're not going to do it. So if creating jobs, creating houses, creating homes doesn't make the government a profit, then they don't do it.
Yeah, and then it becomes bigger and bigger. We used to have a law from the inception of our Constitution and our founding fathers. The law was the government would engage in no business, and that was the law, because they've seen a separation from. We have a separation of state, separation of religion, and we used to have a separation of business too. Where the government would do no business, and if it was considered capitalism or business, they couldn't engage in it. But I don't know. Champagne capitalism has taken over, hasn't it?
Well, the thing is, those laws were set for a purpose. Government cannot have monetary interest. They cannot have corporate interests, because the corporate interests normally goes against the society's interess.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Because the nature of business is to get as much money as you can for as little effort, or giving back as little as you can.
Right.
So you buy low and you sell high, and this is not conducive with a growing society. No, I hear you, TFM. I can hear TFM already, but this is the facts. This is the facts. You screwing people over makes you the most profit. And screwing people over cannot be the policy of a government.
Right. Yeah. We get great examples of this in several books from the past. You read about history books from Rome, and you can read the Bible as a history book too. And what I talk about a lot is chasing your alms, and that's what happened in Rome too. And if anybody that doesn't really study this thing, the end result of what Rome was doing was chasing your alms. What they were doing was people would give alms, which I'm talking about as taxes, and taxes is a utility. It's an altruistic thing when we give taxes, when we voluntarily give taxes, and then the government was coming back, and they were chasing those taxes down. instead of just giving them to the poor and giving them to the needy, which was less expensive. And what we have is we have a social fact then, where if you watched the movie Poverty Incorporated, I did a video on it. I'll put it back up this week sometime, about a social fact. The social fact is the people that are in charge of the funds that take the money that was given altruistically from us, the residents, the people of our country, become the subject of the charity. So they become a business, and that's what we're talking about when the government, HHS, and the charities become the subject of the charity, and employing people, and doing giving kudos, and have big parties for themselves, and having big bottles of champagne and big cakes, and they start spending the money at a greater rate than they're actually giving out, and the revenues never seem to get to the people. It's like it was intercepted in the middle. It should go from the people to the poor, and that's much less expensive than the people to a corporation to the poor. Now, the corporations have hooked into this idea of altruism, and we see it a lot in HHS, where they write grants and everything. There was just a article. I knew this girl in the Lorraine, that was Lorraine, it was Summit County News, where this woman, she was writing grants against Catholic services, and stealing. She stole like some obscene amount of money. But I know this girl, and I remember her from competition. We all write grants for the homeless and everything, and she was just getting the money hand over feet, and she was stealing it. That's what happens. The people in the middle are stealing it. And that's called a social fact, when they become the subject of the actual charity. Dershquit, I think it was Emile Durkheim, the French philosopher, talks about a social fact. And it gets hijacked, and that's what TFM sees. That's what the right sees. They see how it gets hijacked. They see how charity doesn't assist like it should, and then they get mad and they say, well, we'll just take away all the charity, and then we'll let the poor starve, and that'll force them to get a job. But if there are no jobs, like in my area, we have no jobs here. Telling someone to get a job is a stupid idea, and it's a stupid thing to say.
I think the government must know this. The government must know there's no jobs. They must know. They're not stupid. They're idiots, but they're not stupid. I think they must be doing it on purpose. They must be driving society. They must be driving society to the ground. So society looks up to the government for more help. So they rely upon the government. The government can pass more draconian laws. I think that must be it. Or they're just incompetent. That's my only theory. The government's just incompetent.
Yeah, if they're incompetent, then I think they're not stupid, and they know. Well, what they're actually doing is well, I think me and Male Feelings and you had a conversation about this, about the job shops. Now they're taking over jobs, and they're setting up these job shops, and then now they can control the population better. Now they have their hands in the till better. And now they don't have to pay unions. Now they don't have to pay proper wages. Now it goes back to what you said, when profits become more all over people.
I think one of the main problem with government is they just do not give a shit about you. They think you're trash. They think they think we're a bunch of idiots that are a nuisance. And really, I mean, they've got their friends. They've got the people they do look after, which is the rich, the powerful. The big corporations. That's who they look after, and they see us common people as just a nuisance, people that are like to be farmed, to be used, and to be discarded when we're a nuisance. I think that's the problem. They just do not care.
No, they don't care. There's a set of class of people at the top 20%, and that's the people that are considered human. Anybody underneath that is not considered human to the government, because generally, they can't come up with those big donations and stuff like that. So why care about them?
Well, Trump is talking the talk. Let's see what happens. I mean, he's already declared that he's gonna pass the management or the ownership of his businesses to his son, so he can separate
Right.
state from his businesses. And yeah, I think, did he release his tax returns, or are they still waiting?
Yeah, I think he released like 3/4 of them, and we never seen his actual. That'll come out eventually because once he is president, his life is an open book, and that all becomes public
Oh,
concern.
I asked Heartburn this, but Heartburn said it's old news. But that little dossier, or the Trump file of digging the dirt on Trump, and people were saying, yeah, BuzzFeed and CNN were saying it's proof that Russia was involved in the election somehow. There's this dossier that have all these misdeeds of Trump, which seem to emanate from Moscow, but it appeared is it John McCain? John McCain passed it to the CIA. The CIA passed it to the FBI, and then BuzzFeed. But it came from Russia. Why did it come from Russia? Because it was handed from a British ambassador. It came from the British embassy in Russia. It actually came from the British, and it came from the British embassy because it was passed by an ex-member of the MI6 in Britain. So it came from Britain, from the MI6. It was passed on to the British embassy in Russia, and then it was passed on to John McCain. So BuzzFeed and CNN declared it came from Russia, came from Britain. There's some shenanigans. I really think they're gonna try and scupper Trump's inauguration. I think Trump is right to watch his back. His own supposedly intelligence services appear to be gunning for it.
Yeah, he's gonna have problems. They're all gonna. It's all in a mess right now until he's got to prove that he's the guy that he said he was now. And that's funny that hey, do we think we can if MI6 has done that? We have a guy in MI7, don't we?
It's strange times at the moment. Strange times. I think unless you're well grounded, I think it's hard to say either way. But there's, I don't know, a lot of confusing evidence. But don't take anybody's side completely. I mean, if you're like, what's that name? Stefan Molinazzi. Don't listen to Stefan Molinazzi. He thinks he knows it all, but he's just trying to get. The fact is, nobody knows. There's something going on, and nobody knows. Nobody knows the entire. Well, those that do know, they're not going to tell you. Trump's not going to tell you everything he knows. The MI6 or Putin and none of the news companies are going to tell you everything they know. Everything's controlled. There's always somebody controlling, or there's always somebody above the person in charge.
Yeah. That was a joke, by the way. MI7. Remember Alex? When we told them that Messenger was so badass, they had to make another intelligence agency, and that was MI7.
For him. Yeah, but that wasn't funny.
No, that wasn't funny.
Okay, so what's been going on in your week? Have you seen any new channels? There's been a flood of Mgtow channels. Constant Mgtow channels, hasn't there?
Oh God, yeah. There seems to be new ones. I can't tell if they're like old new ones and people shutting down the channels and starting a new one for a fresh start. Or I didn't do much channel searching this week for new guys, and I was just kind of busy and didn't do much of that. Yeah, probably should every week. Indispensable wants in. Oh, IPC wants in. Yeah.
You can bring him on if you like. But yeah, sad Markov vanished, but I thought he might last with this one.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't know if you knew, but he also had the Raven Gaming channel, and then he changed to Red Pill Gaming channel.
Red Pill was Raven Gaming, Red Pill. First it was MJ, then it was Raven Gaming, then it was Red Pill Gaming, then it was Markov, and then now. Well, we'll see.
I think he should have stayed with MJ, the anti-feminist. He actually had quite a good standing there.
Oh, yeah, he was one of the first Mgtows I noticed that he had like 3,000 subs. That back in that time was unfounded. Him and
He was feared amongst the manosphere.
yeah, who did he used to do his podcast with? He was one of the first guys to come on.
Dimitri. He used to be
Dimitri.
close with Dimitri Vinchioff.
Yeah, there was Dimitri, and then psychological cynic used to come on, and him and they had a good rapport. I thought him and psychological cynic.
Yeah, they come and go, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the secret to lasting? What's the
grow a thick skin?
You know?
Yeah.
No, I'd say the secret is to use your block liberally.
Liberally lose your block. How many guys you got blocked now?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know who's blocked me. I think I blocked more people.
Yeah, I got more people blocked than I got subs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've got the sweet spot where I'm getting just the right feed, and while avoiding all the toxic stuff.
Yeah. If I see someone that just made a new account so they can say something awful to me, I automatically block that account. You'll see it. It's got no subscribers, nothing on their channel. They're not hooked to Google, and it's just it's just a sock puppet account. And I just automatically block those.
Yeah, well, I've not heard from James Denton for a while. I think he'll be happy to know that Seth has just done a podcast. Yeah, check out Controversial Truth. Check out his channel, one of our sister channels.
Yeah. If you like what a conspiracy theory and what does he call it now?
The truthers. No, not conspiracy. Get out there.
No, it's not conspiracy now. It's truthers.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. The seeking the truth guys.
Yeah, so he's got a great channel. He does a great job out there getting around the community and trying to bring the other sections together with Mgtow, and because that's where we're going to find our true force.
Keep up the good fight. I mean, one good point that I did find interesting that they touched upon was the fact that the alternative media has now become just like the mainstream media. So all the big channel, obviously PewDiePie, the arsehole channel, and Stefan Molyneux we mentioned, and other channels, they've become the new form of mainstream media, and they've succumbed to the same problems as mainstream media has, and that's making shit up. I tell you what, we'll just make some shit up. Let's get views.
Yeah,
let's make a few dollars on this.
Alternative news. Yeah, that's their own fault. Remember, I don't know. A lot of guys don't remember this. I remember this because I was back at the first thing that George Bush did with his new Supreme Court that he put the justices in. Is there was a decision that came down, like if George Bush was in office, George Bush Jr. was in office for like 1 month, and one of the first decisions that he slid underneath the thing, he wanted Fox News to cover him. So there was a case by the three Florida journalists, and you can look this up. Seth would probably know about this. There was three Florida journalists that were suing the big six cable providers in America at that time. In America, pretty much what happens in America happens all over the world when it comes to media, because we're the base of media for the world. And Fox News was interested in getting, because it was can you tell the truth, or should you tell the truth? And we used to have an hour of what was called Truth News at 6 o'clock. And I don't know if a lot of you guys remember the 6 o'clock news. There was something behind the 6 o'clock news. 6 o'clock news had to be run through a truth table. And if it came out a truth at the end, you were allowed to say it. If it wasn't a truth, there was no opinion pieces, and they remove opinion pieces from it. What the Florida journalists said, they were suing. They said the big six was forcing us to lie. And the Supreme Court said at that point, the new George Bush Supreme Court at that point said that, yes, you're allowed to. And now this was driven by Fox News. And this is like the first time I actually seen like a media outlet by the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said that everything's subjective and everything's an opinion. So you don't have to tell the truth, is what they said. Now we look several years later here, and we look and we see that who's on the opposite end. These things come back to bite you. And it's coming back to bite Fox News. It's coming back to bite the media outlets in different forms, because everybody's noticing, hey, you guys are just lying. And the truth in the media, you can check your facts online now very easily. And you can Google something with your voice. Just say, hey, Google, what about this? What's the truth on this? And Google will tell you. And
well, for me, I have a higher standard on what I choose to believe and what I will disregard. If somebody, I won't believe a piece of news or an ideology or philosophy or any information until either one, I personally tested it, or I personally gone there and I've seen whether it's true or not. That's my first. My second is somebody I know who's reliable, or somebody I know who would never purposely lie, as told me. Or number three, there's been multiple sources from people that are semi-reliable. Otherwise, I just disregard it, and I think people they do need to be careful what they believe. Otherwise, you'll end up slaughtering your neighbor, thinking he's some demon.
Right. So I suppose what's his name? Donald Trump is asking for now is he's asking to go back to that time where the news was simpler and it was a 6 o'clock news. But there's too much water under the bridge now, isn't there?
I don't know about that. I don't know what Donald Trump's going to do with the media. I hope he closes CNN down and he closes Fox News. I hope he closes them all down. They're all shit anyway. They all need a big reboot. But just before I forget, IPG indispensable P guy has said that Mgtow 101 threatened to beat him up and then deleted the post.
Beat him up. Are you going to fight with? Are we going to have like a bro down, like in a street?
Listen, nothing against Australians, but what's going on with Australians? Mgtow 101, Bearings, all these Australians going apeshit. I mean, that is just so like pathetic, isn't it? Oh, let's fight. I'll give you you come fly over here. We'll punch each other.
Yeah, we'll punch each other in the face. Yeah,
sit down. You're not flying anywhere to beat anyone up, man. It's fake machoism. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's fake machoism. I wonder if Berrien seems to be that guy that starts all those channels up. He's got like 1 million channels. His name's not really Berrien's, and it's the same voice of the same guy that's got a Mgtow channel. He's got a skeptic channel. He's got an atheist channel. He's got a regular channel. He's got his Berrien channel. He's got a fishing channel. He's just a guy that's out there trying to make money on YouTube. And he'll say what it takes. He learns the catchphrases in any of the group, and then he does like really cringeworthy stuff. And
he's just a YouTube careerist, as
he's a YouTube Chris. Yeah, he's a YouTube whore, and he knows how to bring his stats up. And I was looking, Controversial Shoes was showing me how he did it last night and how most of these guys do it. And they can go buy those subs. They spend small amounts of money on these subs, and then it looks like they have these huge accounts and they're really popular. They can pat themselves on the back, but it's total narcissism, because when you see Berrien's come on a podcast, you see that he only carries like 400 views.
Forget Bearings, man. He's a knobhead.
He's a knobhead, yeah. And I don't know what's going on down there in Australia. I think they're about 5 to 10 years in back of America YouTube, and they still have these freedoms that down there to do certain things, but that's going to all shut down soon, and it's just a problem. And
well, let's change the subject.
Yeah.
Okay. An issue came up this week. All these podcasts. Keep on going, guys. I hope MT3 keeps on going. Staying free, Mgtow. Get Pirik Vic on. He's funny. He's like I don't know who to compare him actually. But you guys need to stop calling out Stardust, because he's old news. And then we were hoping to get Paul Proteus. Get Paul Proteus to do the Friday one.
Oh yeah, I love that guy, Paul Proteus. I was hoping he would start to do the Friday
You're
podcast.
getting lazy, innit? Come on, Paul. You've got people depending on you here. What?
Yeah.
Get that finger out. Pull that finger out, as they say.
Yeah, my dream is the 24/7 Mgtow where you can just kind of click on and there's always going to be a guy talking. And he just,
I know that would be wonderful, but we need some quality.
we need
We
some
can't
quality.
we can't just be having Mgtow 101 and Sandman constant Mgtow stuff.
Yeah. Now, and Berrien's too. He wants to get into the Mgtow scene.
Is he calling himself Mgtow? Is that what he's doing now? He's trying to
I
like
don't know
attach to the
why.
label.
Yeah,
What's going on with him?
he keeps attaching the tag, and then he keeps going, I'm not a Mgtow, but he keeps attaching the tag. Why is he attaching the tag? Just go away.
Well, let's forget about him. He's annoying him. Even just talking about him annoys me.
Yeah, it does. He's pedo bear. And
Okay. Okay. Oh, all right. How about this? How do you know when your Mgtow, when your red pill is being effective? Okay. One guy said that when you no longer give a shit about dating, or when you no longer give a shit about the unholy vagina, or the holy, the unholy vagina.
yeah,
You know
how you're being affected by the red pill, or how the red pill is being affected by outside
how
influences.
no how you know that it's working, when
Oh,
it's
how you
working for
know
you.
that's working?
Mm.
Well, things don't bother you as much. You see this truth in this thing that we have to live in, and you can identify gynocentrism at a drop of a dime. Even when you go to the store, when you see gynocentrism there, you out in the street, you go to a restaurant and see gynocentrism, and all those things keep you safe.
I know, but there's a difference between seeing it and doing something about
You
it,
have
or
to
having it being an effective philosophy to apply to your life.
well, you walk away from it. That's where you just that's where the MGTOW walking away comes in, doesn't it? It's people take that walking away, they use it in a rhetorical sense a lot. Well, if you guys are just walking away, then just go walk away.
Well, I would put it as the first step is you recognize a problem, you can see it,
You can see it. Yeah.
you understand what's going on, rather than putting on these rose tinted glasses and perpetually giving excuses for the perpetually giving the pussy pass, as we call it, and perpetually trying to spend your money and your time and putting your heart into trying to worship the vagina. I think that's the first step. And you see, you haven't even done anything yet. That's just recognizing. I think the next step is, as a lot of people say, as TFM loves to say, that he doesn't give a shit. But I think that's only step two. Now, step three is when I would say you start to purposely turn down opportunities to to date, or to hook up, as they say. And I think the last step is when you're able to turn down a 10.
When you're able to turn down a 10, yeah, that's
Can you turn down a, guys? I'm putting it out to you in the chat room. You is there still some simpery, some manginery in you guys? If it, you see, who was it? One of those like autistic guys, one of those Asperger's guys was saying, no, you guys all talk MGTOW, but if a 10 came to you, you guys would hit it in an instant. Guys, if you're not able to turn down a 10, then really you're not quite there yet. So I'm going to put it out to you guys. Don't answer me. Ask yourself, can you turn down a 10? Just give me a couple of minutes.
Yeah. I like to think about this in spotting. Spotting's it's not a gynocentric word. Spotting in a mental disorder. Being blue pill and gynocentrism, we all know, is a mental disorder, and that's when you're overactive in that pursuit for that validation and sexual desire and that stuff. Now, spotting in itself is being able to spot yourself, and then is be able to spot those little indicators. The intense fear, the shame, the utility extraction, the anxiety that provides. And those things. When you're out there as a Mgtow, what you're doing is you're trying to spot gynocentrism so you can react positively to it. And sometimes that's walking away, and sometimes that's just doing a little research. Sometimes that's just distinguishing between normal behaviors and abnormal behaviors. And that's what Mgtow gives you, and that's that solid base where you can identify these things. And you know, blue pill. I always say, blue pill guys, that's mental illness that they're they're experiencing. And that comes from a lot of different things. They feel sad, they feel withdrawn, they're either too serious, they want to harm themselves. If they don't have this validation, they're overwhelmed. They're there's just so much that goes on with that thing. And you know you're a MGTOW, and you know you got your red pill when you can apply this thing to almost everything. You can try this, you know, to relationships with, you know, people that you should be having positive relationships with, men in your life, and your fathers, your mothers, your sisters, your brothers, and not get trampled over. Don't make any. There's there's a lot of things that go along with this. There's people that want to destruct you and make you into that utility. Once you spot that as a MGTOW, you're in good shape. You can start winning. For, you know, for a lot of guys, that's the first time in their life they're going to start winning at life. So I think that's what Mgtow is all about. I think that's what the red pill is all about. It gives you the tools to perform better. And one of those tools that distract us from our thinking is sex, gynocentrism, desire, always, you know, that validation that men seem to need. That becomes overwhelming in their lives. In certain ways, they try to normalize the bad behavior that they do. And you spot yourself, you spot them problems, and then you get rid of those problems. And it makes you a more pleasant person to be around. It makes you a more honest person. It makes you a better employee or a better boss to be on. Nobody wants to work for a simp. Nobody wants to, you know, nobody wants to have a simp employee. Once you get rid of those things, you have them. Your masculinity comes from that. You project yourself better out in the public. You project yourself more as a leader of men, not a follower of men. You project yourself as the lion, not the sheep. Yeah, MGTOW, you start developing these habits that that decent, honorable, good men. If you get this picture in your head of a decent, honorable, good man, what were some of those qualities he had? It was, yeah, some of those qualities he had was he never seemed to talk about women. He didn't have no problem with women, nor did he talk about them, nor was it a big issue in his life. He seemed to be very focused on what he was doing, the positive effects of what he was doing. He seemed to be insulted. There seemed to be a certain arrogance about him. And a lot of women will say, oh, these men are just narcissistic and they're arrogant. Well, arrogance is good when you have that, when you know you're just better. And that's what Mgtow gives you. You know you're just better at a certain point. You're not easily distracted by boyish things, you know. There's several passages and several things that tell we put childish things away in Mgtow. We put all those childish things away. We, you know, in the Old Testament and the Bible, they said about not drinking milk and stuff like that. There's reasons why they do that. They're just saying we put childish. We're no longer sucking on the tit of life. We're the doers. We are those strong men. We are the, you know, like the poem. We are the music makers. You know, we are those men now. We don't acquiesce or cower to gynocentrism, nor do we care it's there. We just put it aside and move on with our lives. And that permits us as these red pill thinkers, as these MGTOWs, to become better men. That's what MGTOW, yeah, maybe it's a little long, drawn out explanation, but that's what I think it is.
Have you read the comments?
No.
Look at these guys. Guys, money where your mouth is. Staying free is saying, fuck a 10, she's still a bitch. I hope he doesn't mean literally. Literally, fuck a 10. Levita Case is saying, I've turned down plenty of 10s before. not as long before he turned out MGTOW. Well, I mean, we can only take him on face value. Badass
Yeah.
Dan says that I'll turn down an 11.
I'll turn that at 11. Yeah. Me and my brothers, we're normal guys. So we used to have this little club going. We had a garage bar going and everything. We used to have the club. And it was sort of a man's club on Friday night. All the guys would just meet there and we'd talk and we'd get drunk and we'd sling some things around, play some cards, get some nice cheese and crackers and snacks and grill and do man things. And one of the common sayings that we'd have was very sarcastic. Every time a woman would come over, someone would bring one of these new and improved models of the better whore. We'd go, nice package, filthy whore.
I know, but it is a pretty serious but interesting issue at the same time, because your heart has got to be in it. If you're just one of these fair weather MGTOWs, I call them, it's like when MGTOW's easy, or when anti-Gynocentrism, I'll call it. When anti-Gynocentrism is easy, then yeah, you apply it. When there's an ugly, fat wildebeest lumbering about, trying to give you the eye, asking you, like, what did that guy call? Motto power. He says some big fat wildebeest came up to him in a bar and said, buy me a drink. And he said, oh yeah, she says, you need to buy me a drink. And he says, you need to get down to the Walmart, get some Slim Fast and get on that treadmill.
yeah, you need to buy me a drink.
If you haven't seen this guy, check out Motto Power. Very funny.
Motto Power.
Your heart needs to be in it. If it's easy, then yeah. When the weather's fine, that's why I call them fair weather MGTOWs. When it's easy, yeah, I'm MGTOW, or yeah, fuck them, fuck the bitches. But then when a really cute girl comes up, when an 8, 9, or even a 10. And she starts giving you a beeline, and then all of a sudden, you're not so keen on the anti-vaginal worship. Yeah, that's when it's a test. Like I said, guys, ask yourself. You need to put this to yourself. This is not me trying to test you guys or put you guys on the stand here. This is something you guys need to ask yourself.
Yeah, you know what the greatest. The greatest quality of a Mgtow monk is etiquette. We don't talk about these things, whether you're doing it or you're not doing it. You don't come around and brag about these things, whether you have a 10 or whether you simply don't talk about femininity in a male space. You don't talk about your penis in a male space. You don't talk about what you do with your penis in a male space. That's my problem with Berriens. That's my problem with a lot of guys. They want to talk about that 24/7 about, what if you just don't talk about it. You put that stuff aside, and you have a common etiquette around here where we know we're monks and we know we don't talk about these things.
Listen, I'm encouraged by the uptake, by the positivity, by the enthusiasm, by a lot of the MGTOWs, a lot of the manosphere by their interest in the Mgtow monk lifestyle, I should say the monk lifestyle. But guys, you can't be passing it around. You can't be, no offense, angry Mgtow, you can't be going on Berrien's channel and talking about that monk stuff. You need to just keep a tap on that, because we only talk about this stuff amongst the guys that are interested. We don't open it up for discussion. We don't answer to simps and manginas like Berrien's about it. Yeah. We keep it within. This is the proper. This is the proper. This is the proper fight, but we don't.
Yeah, first rule fight club. Yeah.
but anyway, like I said, this is how you. Or as I was trying to say, this is how you. Back to your point on those guys that talk about their penises, that talk about their sexual conquests, and who was that guy? Was it SPOG hybrid or something? He was saying how he prefers single mothers. What the?
Oh God, yeah, they tried to hit us with that. Hey, single mothers are okay because last week I think that was, and that's couldn't be farther from the truth if you go back.
He was saying stuff like. He was saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, but if she's a 19-year-old single mother, that snatch is still good."
That's so funny. But yeah, I mean, they tell on themselves, don't they? They tell on what they value in life. and that's what they value.
You know what I call these guys? You know, these guys that come around, they talk about the need to put their penis in something. They're talking about uh, what did that disgusting guy put? He puts his cock in the vacuum cleaner between
Oh,
the
the
sofa.
toaster, the
The toaster.
sofa,
What a
yeah.
knobhead. But the
It,
thing is, we used to have a name for these guys. We used to call them the kids.
the kids, the
We just
simps,
call
the
them the
kids,
kids
yeah, the
because
kids.
basically they're so immature. For them, it's still it's still a novelty. You know, the altar of the vagina is still something fascinating to them. You know, what they can do with their penis is still a very high priority in their life goals. So we used to call these guys the kids. You know, they're 30 going on to 40, and they're still talking about this shit. You know,
Yeah,
fucking stupid.
they're like immortal. He is 32 years old. He's probably 35 years old now and still watching cartoons on TV. Grow up. That's what we're saying in Mgtow. At a certain point in your life, you're going to have to become a monk because it's going to be demanded of you to be a mature male. There's nothing more disgusting than seeing a 70-year-old man and out on the streets acting like a simp. Uh, talking about those things. He just comes off as being perverted. He just comes off as being less of a man. And no, that's what it boils down to. You can go through your whole life without putting these childish things away. These guys at 30 years old, and even at 28 years old, uh, my son's 25 years old and he's put childish things away. And if my son at 25 years old can do it, then any man can do it. Uh,
Mm.
just grow up, and that's what I'm saying to Berriens. Grow up.
Mm.
Oh man, yeah, we pounded that subject to death, didn't we?
Yeah. So you don't rate Oksana Grigoryeva. What about Amy Irving?
Who's
Who else
Amy?
is there?
Who's Amy?
What about Anne Nicole Smith?
Who's Anna? Oh, Anna Nicole. She had an interesting. There was some interesting MGTOW overlays in her life, wasn't there?
What about Ivana Trump? All these gold diggers that married. What about Crystal Harris? Look, no, there's one. She married Hugh Hefner
She married Hugh
a few
Hefner.
years ago.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. Anna Nicole Smith. She had a son that actually committed suicide, didn't he?
Apparently, she committed suicide, didn't she?
Did she commit suicide too? Yeah,
I don't know.
that was tragic. That her lifestyle totally affected her sons and everybody around her so negatively that just people were just capping themselves because they could no longer stand to be around her.
Oh, if I may soil the podcast for a couple of minutes, David Furnish. David Furnish. He's the he's the guy that hooked up with John Elton, the old the old pervert.
The old pervert, Elton John.
Yeah, Elton John. He's quite old now. I think he's
Oh
like
God, is that his new boyfriend?
that's his new boyfriend. Yeah, and
What was his name?
David Furnish. They made a
David
film
Furnish.
based around him. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't.
They made a film based around David Furnish, and it's basically a young. It's an old piano player who's homosexual, I believe,
Mhm.
and then he hooks up with this young guy who's just a gold digger. Now, isn't that? Is it?
Oh, yeah. That was a question I was asking myself this week, and I don't know how to clearly articulate it. The homosexual lifestyle, and we look at guys like Milo, and Milo presents the MGTOW from a homosexual lifestyle view, but isn't that gynocentrism in itself? It's just it's
It was just hitting on your point that these old guys they're still not able to control their
right.
privates. They're still like bearings looking for a hole to insert it in.
Looking for a hole to insert it in.
And they're
Yeah.
constantly getting screwed over. This guy is on his seventh, eighth marriage, or we should say his LTR. He's in a long-term relationship, and he, obviously for each one he's a little less well off, but uh, they just don't learn, and they keep going through it, and they need to. I would say to these guys, you need to find a better hobby, guys, than getting screwed
Yeah.
over.
Well, what we see projected to us as normal guys, everyday guys, is we're not billionaires. We're not millionaires in most cases. In Mgtow, we're just normal guys that we go to work or we have a small business and we try to stay away from the mainstream. What does, Elton John, and who's the guy that just had a kid from the Rolling Stones? He's like 70 years old. What do these guys have that we don't? They have a lot of money that they pay these girls to go away. The old catchphrase, you pay a whore to go away. That's what they do. When these laws are developed in these in Congress and these congressmen and these when they're developing marital laws and everything, one thing these guys have is they can afford to have a girl go away. They go on 3, 4, 5 marriages, have a kid with every one of these women, and they just pay them off at the end. But think about yourself in your situation, guys. You can't afford to pay off.
You can't do that, guys. It's not something you can do. It's a rich man's game. Is that?
It's a rich man's game, right? There's consequences if you're a poor man.
If you want to have a laugh, check out Alfonso Diaz. Alfonso Diaz, he married like this 80-year-old woman.
Oh, and she took him. Yeah. Now think about that concept in our laws, guys. There's consequences for being a poor guy and having a child out of wedlock. Those consequences will seriously affect you, where you will be eating ramen noodles and living in a one room. For a rich man, the rules are different. If they wanted to have a fairer program, there would be other consequences that were fairly distributed between rich and poor. I don't know what those, instead of monetary consequences, there would be some other kind of consequence. And then that consequence would be equally distributed between every man. But there isn't. We live in a society that money and utilitarianism is king. Right. They can buy out of their bad deeds. You know what? In the Catholic Church, what did they call that when you bought your sins?
I think it's called indulgence. Is it papal indulgence? Yeah, papal indulgence.
Papal indulgence. Do you think there's any difference between papal indulgence and the system we have now, in this ritual religious system we have now? No, they just buy out of their sins.
Well, one last one. Let me just get this gossip out of the way. Ivana Trump obviously married Donald Trump for his money, and she's an old woman now, right? Okay, now she's hooked up with a 24-year-old Bassano Ruby Condi. Look at the two together. That could be her grandson.
Yeah, she's hideous now, isn't she?
What do you mean she's hit the wall like 20 years ago?
Yeah, 20 years ago she hit the wall. You want to put up a picture of Ivana Trump?
Okay, let me share this.
Yeah, let me share it. We could do that. Put up. We have Google right at our fingertips.
Okay, then. Are you seeing it? Can you see? Oh, highlight my icon.
Yeah, I highlighted your icon. You got infinity.
Okay, there she is. There's that.
Yeah,
beauty.
there she is. She's got new lips, new nose, new face stretched back, and she's married to this. Can you imagine what those actually look like? Look at her neck. Look at her shoulders. She takes off her clothes, and it looks like an old man. She's probably got more fur than I got.
Could you visualize that? Could you visualize making love to such a beast?
Yeah,
such a zombie beast.
Yeah. Now look at the neoteny that she tries to pose. Look up I talked a little bit. I made a joke about we're going to talk about makeup application today on the newer G-rated.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine waking up to that with no makeup?
Yeah. Look at how she uses her makeup. She got her new neotenous look on her face. How it's rounded off. She paid for all that. So she can look attractive to this 24-year-old. You know what he's looking for? He's looking for a payday here.
He don't worry. He's driving around in a Ferrari. He's using a credit card. He's buying new clothes, and he's screwing some other woman on the side.
Oh, I'll bet you he's got a young girl, and he's got her on the side, and she doesn't mind because she gets to. You know what he is? He's a male whore, isn't he?
He is. He's a slag.
He's a slag. He's the new PUA male whore.
He's a PUA.
Yeah,
he's a PUA. Of course he is.
Of course, he's a PUA male whore. He knows what the bottom line is, and the bottom line is how much money she can put in his account.
Yeah, he's hit gold, and I bet she's got like a 24K allowance. He's giving her. He's giving
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, and he'll
For the
have that allowance for life. That allowance ain't gonna go away because some judge is gonna give it after the divorce or whatever. Some judge is gonna say, "Hey, you bought into it, bitch. Same rules."
Yeah,
He's a gigolo.
he's okay. Stop shaving now. Let's
Yeah,
pick
stop
up.
showing. Did you see that ugly shoulder and breast area? Oh my God, she's got more
Saggy
brown
ass.
spots than my hands do, and I've been a working man for 50 years.
Some flatbreads on the chest.
Yeah. Oops.
Or it'll be some fake silicone breasts with like a zombie skin around there. Yes.
Oh God, zombies been around two baseballs.
That seems to
Or
point.
soft. Yeah,
That seems to
soft.
point in two directions.
They seem to point in two directions. Oh God, that's horrible thought. No, you don't want that in your life. But some men nowadays, it's all about that, and they can't control that. Hey, if some rich lady, I often pose this question to myself: if some rich Ivana Trump uh, could make my lifestyle better and all my kids happy and make them millionaires and give me whatever I wanted, would I? Uh, Geez, it would be tempting because just man, life is so much easier when you've got millions of dollars and you're driving around in a Maserati,
Mm. I don't know. Could you? I wonder. Uh, I bet all the PUAs would do it, wouldn't they?
I'll bet all the PAs
They'd
would do
sell
it.
their body to some zombie whore.
Yeah, I think they would. I think they would. They have found a way to justify that in their head, and it's sort of a feminist. It's sort of a female thing when you can do that. Uh,
Yeah.
a lot of MGTOWs can't do that, and I notice a lot of men. If a girl seems ugly to her, then they can't do that. There's no way they can.
I'm sorry, guy. Can someone just explain how do they manage that? It's like to get it on, you need to be aroused, right? We all
Yeah,
know that. So
you need to be
how do
aroused.
they get aroused by that? I mean, as soon as the clothes are off, surely you see something. You see two flatbreads, you see a saggy ass, you
Yeah.
probably but she's probably drenched in perfume as well, so there's that odor as well.
Oh God, yeah, you have to turn off the lights and the little blue pill.
I don't know. Yeah, they probably take a couple of Viagra's.
Yeah, a couple of Viagra's and turn off the lights and pretend it's your 18-year-old girlfriend. That's probably why he has to have that mental image of the 20-year-old girlfriend, because he has to image that when he's doing that with her.
Mm.
Oh, oh God, that's a sickness,
They
isn't it? That's
send
a mental
shivers
ill.
down my
Now
stairs.
that's where I
My
say these
stairs.
things. Yeah, that's where I say these things become mental illnesses. Can you imagine having to go through that day after day, where you're just the complex images in your mind are being subjected and and objectified, and these images in your mind are being manipulated in order to have to live this lifestyle? I mean, that would make you very, very mentally unhealthy, wouldn't
You know that those guys probably think they're winners as well. Think, oh look at me, I scored.
it? Look at me, I got.
Oh shit! Vaughn in Red Pill says that her vagine hangs like a sleeve of a wizard.
Who said that?
I bet such a man has a thorough shower or a 1 hour bath after getting off that treadmill.
After getting off that treadmill, yeah, you'd have to look at it as a piece of machinery, huh? I'm just going to take a 15-minute workout here, and that's all it is. And boy, I could
Yeah,
put that.
you probably wash yourself chewing good after that.
God, yeah, yeah.
Did you ever feel that? You ever feel dirty after doing it?
I seen this example of when I was it's on the opposite end here. when I was running these apartment complexes and I was the maintenance manager at an apartment complex, you get to know you get to see a lot of things. These are little cities. There was 680 buildings in there, and these little cities that, and I'm running this, and I noticed this one woman. Uh, she was she was very needy and she was nesting, and we labeled ones that are nesting and ones that aren't nesting, so we know when we get calls that they are nesting, so we can protect ourselves. Uh, so so I noticed that the water was always running in her apartment, and the hot water was always running in the apartment. And I soon realized that this girl was one of those promiscuous women that had a lot of men coming in her house, and they were paying the bills. And we call those women, but she was having this doubt about what she was doing. So every time she would do it, she would shower, and every time she'd take showers for hours. And finally, we had we had to call in Health and Human Services to do a check on her, and her mother came around, and I explained to him what was going on, that the water was always. And then, like later that week, I noticed there was smoke rolling out of her window, and she had left something on the stove, and she felt so bad about something she had done. She went in the shower and she started trying to wash that dirt off of her. But that's a psychological dirt. You can't wash that off you. But a lot of people try to bathe that off of themselves and make themselves clean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
Yeah,
you feel dirty after
you
you've done it,
feel dirty. So
and
she
it's a
almost
state of
burnt
mind.
down the entire building because she was feeling dirty. And I've seen this in life, and I can imagine men do this too. If you do something, and we often talk about having sexual intercourse or something like that before you're mature enough to do that. Many boys do this, and then they look back and they have this reservation about what was done. They get a cougar. I use what's that movie I use for the example of the cougar lady? It's American Pie. Simpler's mother. They do a Simpler's mother, and then they look back in their life and they feel bad about that, and they feel, oh, I shouldn't have done that with her because it's just an awful act. And that's
Mm,
Simpler's mother rape.
mm.
So yeah, guys, I wouldn't, no, don't do something that makes you feel bad about yourself. That mental dirt doesn't come off with water. You have to cleanse that with Mgtow.
Well, let's change the subject before we make everyone feel a bit dirty.
Yeah, I don't want to make you guys feel dirty.
Okay, let's talk about well, celebrity deaths. There was a lot of celebrity deaths recently, and
Recently? Oh, let me look at this. I haven't seen it.
yeah.
See, I have been
Well,
so out of loop lately that I haven't even looked at that celebrity death. Who died?
Muhammad Ali, God rest his soul, Prince, Alan Rickman died. A lot of people
Okay.
don't know. David Bowie
David
passed
Bowie.
away.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you guys know George Kennedy.
George
Uh,
Kennedy. Is he part of the Kennedy family, or is
I
that
know he's the actor.
the actor? Okay.
George Kennedy. Anton Yelchin. I don't know if you guys know. Anton Yelchin plays Chekhov in Star Trek.
Oh,
He
Chekhov.
died.
Now that's a sad story, isn't it? His son was he was struggling all his life about his sexuality and his son's sexuality, and
No, Anton Yelchin. He plays Star Trek in the new ones. So he was actually quite
oh,
young.
okay. He was actually quite young. I'm thinking about the old Chekhov.
Yeah, the old Chekhov. I think he's still alive.
Yeah, the old Chekhov, and he has the gender non-binary thing going, and his son is one of those famous, non-binary people.
Yeah, and then Gene Wilder.
Gene
Uh,
Wilder, what a
to be
great,
missed.
yeah.
Will be missed. Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher passed, yeah.
Yeah, the princess, now an old woman. I think she had a problem with addiction. Was she alcoholic or uh, heroin or something? She had a serious addiction at one point.
Yeah, you want me to do the "We Are the Music Makers" poem for Gene Wilder?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Oh, that's what he said. We are the music makers. We are the men. Keating, I think it was that
Oh,
famous
I
song
like it.
about masculinity.
Well, let's hear it because I haven't heard it.
Oh, and I got to look it up first.
Okay, you look it up. I'll continue with the celebrity deaths. Debbie Reynolds, a American icon. I know Warhouse will recognize that one. George Michael.
Yeah.
One for James Denton there. Obviously, we have to mention Fidel Castro,
Okay.
the inspiration for all guys that want a better government. Yes, guys. I think at this point, even communism will be better than what we have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of celebrity deaths lately. Yeah, the poem's
oh,
actually called Ode.
oh, okay. Let's see a bit then.
Okay, it says, "We are the music makers. We are the dreamer of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams. World losers and world forsakers, on whom the pale moon gleams. Yet we are the movers and shakers of the world, it seems." And that says a lot about manhood, doesn't it?
Hmm.
That's Ode by Arthur O'Shaughnessy.
I thought you said it was by Keating.
Yeah, I thought it was by Keating, but I got that mistaken. It was Arthur
Oh,
O'Shaughnessy. Isn't Arthur O'Shaughnessy the guy with his the like the fist up that the feminists stole the two fist up thing?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, I have to look
I've
that
never
up.
heard that. I know Keating's a great, one of the great
I like
poets.
Keating too.
Yeah, the film Dead Poet Society got me into Keating.
Oh, wasn't Keating part of that bunch where with Mary, the book Mary Worthingcraft? I can't remember her name, and then Frankenstein. Wasn't he part of that club that used to meet in the Swiss Chalet and write the books? I thought Keating was part of that. I have to look that up too.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, there's kind of this. Mary, the book, the first feminist book was Mary, and that went before the Congress or whatever you have in England, or I can't remember what you call them, the Parliament, and it was an example uh, of feminism in 1800s. And then there was Mary Shelley, which wrote Frankenstein, and I thought Keating was involved in that bunch. I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
No, you wrong? How possible?
No, I could be wrong. I make a lot of mistakes. Zachary Keating.
I like Walt Whitman as well. He's great.
Walt Whitman, yeah. My favorite is some of the Irish poets with Burns and the guy that did the poems about Kokuhanen. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kokuhanen, the Irish god. He was immortal. His story is quite a Mgtow story. And
I think one of my favorite lines from Walt Whitman is, sorry guys if I misquote this, but life is the theatre of life. The theatre of life goes on, lest you write another chapter. Let me get a
unless
proper
you
one.
write unless you write another chapter, yeah, that's male. That's real male stuff because that's what Winninger was saying about masculinity, wasn't he? We do something, we move on, we put closure to that, and we move on to the next thing, and we write that next chapter in our lives. Unfortunately, Winninger couldn't adhere to his own good sense sometimes. Well, he committed suicide in the same room that was it Mozart died in.
Mozart.
Yeah, there was something. I think he visualized that in his head, and he thought that, well, that's if I wanted to die, where would I want to die? In the same room Mozart died in. So he capped himself, which is sad. Yeah, Winninger was he struggled with MGTOW stuff, and in that time where probably Victorian, that Victorian and Renaissance and that romanticism and the age of romantic. Could you imagine being a MGTOW man back in the early and late 1800s and 1900s? Oh God, it was probably awful. Yeah, the measure of your masculinity was some other guy's version of how many times you used your penis. Oh, that's horrible. That's a horrible thought.
I can't believe people still do that.
Yeah, they still do it. That's what we get around here all the time. These guys are saying to you as MGTOWs, the measure of your masculinity is his idea of how many times you used your penis. That's fucking crazy.
Kids.
Oh, yeah. How would you measure masculinity? Do we have a gauge on that? Can we invent some kind of meter, and put it on like Joe's chest and instead of fur on my chest and like, oh, masculinity is measured at 8. Oh, I don't know. These are the things we think about. We have gone through an enlightenment period here, haven't we?
Mm.
So, is Keating your favorite poet, or do you have a favorite poet?
I don't have a favorite poet. Some of his stuff is a little bit dry. Maybe I just don't understand it. Same with Walt Whitman.
Same with
But
Walt Whitman.
yes, I mean, you hardly ever get a person whose entire body of work is excellent. There's normally good stuff, and there's a few bad. That's for the great writers. That's very rare. I mean, even today, I mean, I guess it could be compared to the film writers and the TV series and the writers. Like, what's his name? Who writes Game of Thrones now?
Oh God.
That guy that writes Game of Thrones. A lot of his stuff is good, but some of it's a bit dull, really.
Yeah, yeah. Game of Thrones. Me and my son were gonna actually start watching that, but we're kind of way behind if you haven't watched it yet.
It's only worth watching it if you watch it. If you watch it like one series at a time. If you're waiting for the next one, you just lose luster for it, and it becomes something that it becomes, the expectation builds up, and then it comes out, and your expectations are built up to the point where it's gone beyond the quality of the series, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed they're putting new ads out for it, and everything. So is it season ending or season starting soon?
The season should be starting soon, and I think in a
Oh, okay.
couple of months, I think every April they release. Normally around April time they release a new season, but I only got interested in it after the I think the fourth season, and I binged watched number 1 to 3. I skipped the fillers, and now because I've caught up, and now I'm waiting for the next one. It's gone a bit dry, really.
Yeah, yeah. See, I get it. There's so many series now. You have a choice of hundreds now. It seems like everybody's making new series. Oh boy, am I getting hammered here on my ass? People are blowing me up on my phone.
You you getting phone calls? What?
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting phone calls from other MGTOWs.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So, what time is it? It's 1:38. You know, anybody got any more topics they want us to talk about?
No, I think
What's counterproductive?
yeah, that's his name, George R. Martin. And Cyborg says the books are way better than the HBO TV crap.
Yeah, that's what I said from the beginning, isn't it?
A lot of people say that. I mean, I don't think people read enough. I would say reading is likened to mental exercise. I mean, to convert symbols and shapes on a page to feed your imagination, to experience the emotion and the experience in the author's trying to convey. I think it does require some skill, and there's something to the books that you can't always do on film. I mean, a great writer, a great writer. Well, I've always said this: a great writer is what makes a good film, is what makes a good television series, and it's normally starts. And I think that's why Hollywood's turning to Marvel now, because obviously Marvel and they've done all those comics, and it's easier for them to translate a comic into a film. But basically, because they've run out of writers, I think.
Yeah, there is a serious lack of writing, and we go back to our subject in the beginning, where the writers used to have a union, and then they busted the union, and now the quality. I noticed it right away. The quality of writing went down because now there's they have slave writers now, uh, and it doesn't let them express their freedoms. And you could take a book like Walden and you know Thoreau's Walden and read it like once in your life, and then go back the next time and read it, and you'll get something totally different out of it. And you could read it 6 or 7 times in your life, and the next time you're going to see something different, and you're going to see something that applies to you, because the book was written in such depth and such a manner of writing that you're always going to see something till the day you die. You can read Walden 100 times and go, oh, there's very few artists now that can do that, and provoke that kind of imagination with books. Moby Dick being the same way, uh,
Mm.
and
War and Peace.
War and Peace. Yeah,
War and Peace was written by a black man.
War and Peace was. I thought that was.
War and Peace, I think so.
I thought that was a Russian. I thought that was
Let me check. I'm
a
pretty
Russian
sure
artist.
War and Peace.
I thought that was. Oh God, I can't remember his name right now. I just read some of it last week or so.
Who? There was a famous black writer, and he wrote a big. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't War and Peace. It was a big book. His picture is everywhere. I'm trying to remember his name.
Tolstoy. Yeah, Tolstoy. Eric says, yeah, I just read Tolstoy because I was reading Kapakov, and that's Tolstoy took some of his ideas from Kapakov, and that was of Bread and Man, of Man of what is that called?
Yeah, Frederick Douglass was who I'm thinking of.
Oh, Frederick Douglass. Yeah, one of my favorite guys. Frederick Douglass was the orator.
Yes. What book did he write?
God, he was a slave during the Civil War, and it was he just had. I don't know if he really had many books out. He has a lot of essays.
I forget. I'm probably never gonna be. I'm probably never gonna hear the last of that now.
Yeah, nah, Frederick Douglass is a great man. The book that he kind of clung to was called The Orator, and it's the Brazilian Orator, and it teaches you how to speak in front of people. It teaches you it gives you stories where you where you can exclamate your. I always thought Barbarossa had that skill of the orator skill, and I thought that he took what he does from the orator, the Brazilian orator, and that's what Frederick Douglass said. That was his first book that he read as a young man, and he kind of clung to it, and that's where his skills developed from. And he probably read a lot more after that. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, and it's an exercise. You have Brazilian orators, an exercise, and how to speak in front of people and how to oratate.
Mm.
My bondage. Louis says, "My bondage, my freedom." Yeah, yeah. Good Mgtow stuff too, because it tells about how our slavery is, how we are, how you can imagine how it worked out back then, but can you imagine how they do it now, the modern day slavery of men's utility, and then you wake up and you go, oh yeah, uh, I can't get out of this society. I can walk away as a Mgtow, but there's one place you can be totally free, and that's in your head. And once you start being Mgtow and you start being totally free, and that's what Frederick Douglass was saying, the first place you start being free at is in your head.
Mm. Okay, well, I guess we'll let everyone go now. I think we've reached our pinnacle of viewers, and now we have to say goodbye.
Oh, reached our pinnacles of viewers, and now we have to say goodbye.
Lest we
Uh,
never see you again. The theatre of life goes on, lest you write another chapter.
yeah, that's a good thing to think about. Are you writing a new chapter in your life now, Mgtow? I'm starting a new chapter in my life. I always start new chapters because I'm a man. Because whether I win or lose or fail at something, or whether I fail dramatically, I put that aside. I put that back. I put that in the past, and I start a new chapter. And I learn from where my failures were, and I learned from my disappointments, and basically I learned from my ups too. This is an F to G thing. We have peak moments in our lives. Learn how to get to those peak moments, and learn from those G moments where we weren't so great. If we learn from those things, by the time we're well into our age, we'll be better men about that. That's what Mgtow's about.
Yeah, I would just add that, um, guys, there's always hope. If you felt like you failed, if you felt like your life was a failure, if you felt like you've led a bad life, then change. Don't continue making the same mistakes. Change, right that which you've wronged. Make your rights. And if you've led a good life, if you feel like your life is over and you can't do any more good, then the world is in need of men like that. The world is in need of men that have led a good, productive, positive lives, and surely such a life is worth continuing. Carry on
Yeah,
doing your good stuff.
yeah. Who said that line that some men's lives are just worth more than others?
It would go. I found the quote. Let me say it. Let me say it properly. Here we go. It was actually used in one of my intros. The powerful theatre of life plays on. Perhaps so we will contribute an act or two.
Hmm. Yeah,
The powerful theatre of life plays on. Perhaps we'll contribute an act or two.
yeah. It's a good thought, and I think that's where Mgtow should be. And keep moving forward in life. That's all you can do. Be steadfast. Be tenacious.
Mm. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks to the chat room for keeping us company. And hopefully, we'll see you guys soon, um, unless we're dead.
Yeah, unless we're dead. Yeah. But like always, thanks for coming around, man. Thanks, Eric and Thor and all the new guys, and Johnny Midnight, and thanks for coming around, and all the listeners. And hey, most of all, thanks for being Mgtow. Mgtow.
Yeah, peace, guys.